Welcome to another edition of The Phil Taitt Show. Caitlin Graham is far from any ordinary actress. She is truly the mastermind behind the web series No Method. Caitlin continues to show her fans through on-screen and off-screen why she is such a force to be reckoned with. We are so happy to have a fellow independent filmmaker in the building with us today. Please join me in welcoming Miss Caitlin Graham. Caitlin, how are you today?
Hi, Phil. What a lovely introduction.
No, thank you for joining me. It's an honor. It's a pleasure to meet you, to see you. It's truly amazing.
Thank you.
So let's jump right in. Episode 2 just came out.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yes.
I saw it. I was like, this is dope. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
So before, for all those who don't know about No Method, can you just tell our viewers a little bit as to what the show's about?
Sure. It is a semi-autobiographical dark comedy based on my life as an actress.
Okay.
So most of the characters, well, I'd say 90% of the characters are based on real people, and you know, certain liberties are taken, but by and large everything that happens on the show happened to me at some point, sadly.
Wow.
So it's sort of like, as I said, it's a dark comedy, so it's sort of like a comedy from misery kind of thing. So, you know, my life is very unfortunate, and the comedy kind of comes from that. It's sort of like it's been compared to the TV show Louis a lot,
okay,
because his life is very difficult and he gets into these very awkward, upsetting situations, and it's sort of ridiculous.
Well, I saw it and I loved it.
Thank you.
Amazing. So let's just get into a little bit as to when did No Method really begin?
So I've always, since I finished grad school, I've been an actor who's sort of balanced my career as an actor with full-time jobs in other places, which, you know, as I'm sure you know, you can only do so much when you're working a full-time job. I was working at this consulting company, and I had, you know, a very nicely paying managerial role there.
Nice.
And but you know, it wasn't my passion, and it sort of started taking over my life, and it got to the point where I had to be on my email 24 hours a day, and my acting life was really falling off the radar. Yeah,
okay.
Or being crushed, if you want to be dramatic about it, Phil. But yes, that's what it felt like. So, you know, I had my vacation. I took a vacation by myself to Puerto Rico, to Vieques. I don't know if you know the island just off of Puerto Rico. Excuse me. This is when I used to be able to afford vacations like that. But I took myself on vacation just by myself, and, you know, just cliche, I was walking along a beach and contemplating my life and just being like, I'm not doing what I really love, and what can I do? And it just kind of hit me, you know. I wanted to do something myself, written by me and directed by me, because I'm an egomaniac, and it just hit me. I said, I have all of these crazy stories from being an actor, why not do that, you know? And before I knew it, I was just scribbling notes, and I had like something like 20-something episode ideas,
wow,
you know, in like 10, 15 minutes. It just it wouldn't stop. You know?
Tell me a little bit as to what is your writing process actually like?
It's always been, because this isn't my first writing project. I've been writing since I was a kid. I used to write novels on loose leaf paper it was the 80s. I used to write novels on loose leaf paper with pencil at school. And even those were sort of, I would put my friends in it, and
okay,
it was always based on my life. Again, egomaniac, but anyway. My process has kind of always been that I plan a lot and I think a lot for a long time about what I'm going to do, and then the actual writing process is really quick. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'll get an idea, I'll think about it for like 2 years or something, and then when I finally start to write, it's all there, you know what I mean? And then it's just done.
Can you talk about how important following your passion is? Because if you believe in your passion, you can make money at it. But just talk a little bit about your passion, why you're so passionate about it, leaving it. Was it hard? Like, just talk about that.
It was hard. I mean, it was incredibly difficult. I have a very good friend of mine who's also, oddly enough, my co-producer on No Method, and she sort of acts as a mentor for me through everything. And when I was coming to that decision to leave my job, she really was the one that encouraged me and let me know that everything would be okay. And I think the reason why so few people go after their passions and really commit to doing that and go the safer route is that they're afraid of failure. And that's totally normal, you know, like failure is a part of it,
right.
And you are probably going to face it if you take risks. but you learn from your failures. I have a great quote.
Let me hear it.
My friend. My friend graduated. She went to law school at UPenn, and the year that she graduated, Denzel Washington was the speaker.
Wow.
And his commencement speech was really great, and he had some really good nuggets in there, specifically about this. And he was talking about his own struggles as an actor. And he said, if I'm going to fall, I'd rather fall forward, because at least I can see where I'm going. So, I mean, the whole point of that is I'm not saying it as well as he did, because he's Denzel and he can do better than me. He's been doing it a little bit longer than me. But basically, you know, failure is a part of it, and you'll learn from the failure. And as long as what you're doing is true to who you are, it's aligned with your passions and what you want to do with your life, then you know, you're always going to be on the right path. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. And do you think that's one of the pieces of the pie that you want your viewers to go along with after they've watched No Method?
I think so. And I mean, it's tough because we only have 2 episodes, and at this point in the season, things are looking really bleak for my character. So watching it, it's kind of hard to come away from it like, yes, let's go after our dreams, you know, because her life is really difficult. But where it's headed in terms of, you know, the rest of the season, I think that by the end of the first season, people will come away with it feeling inspired and not with any delusions about how difficult it is, but inspired to go for it anyway.
Do you think that also like having a family-based orientated set also helps in terms of you all get along, you're comfortable with each other, you guys know each other well, you believe in the same thing, plays a big part into it as well?
Absolutely. And I think my co-producer and I, we run a very touchy-feely set, I guess. You know, like we're very warm, we're very welcoming to everybody, and we want to make sure that everyone's having a good time and that they're getting the most out of it. That's one of the most important things to me. And, you know, surprisingly, most of the people that work on No Method are not people that I knew before.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you meet them?
We brought them on. You know, for most of the regulars on the show, like Isabelle Pierre, who plays Greer, my best friend.
She's amazing.
She's incredible.
Wow.
She's so incredible, and every time I'm editing an episode, I'm just like, can we give her more to do? Like, can we just make a show about her? Like, because she's so amazing. And everyone has asked, it's really funny because I guess the 2 of us have really good chemistry, because consistently everyone has asked, like, how long have you and Isabel known each other? And I'm just like, we auditioned her in January. Like, you know, like I said, the planets have just aligned. So,
what was casting like? Was it hard?
It was very hard because obviously I based all of these people on real people.
Okay.
So I think initially when I was going into, say, casting Greer, even when we were going through the headshots, I sort of had my best friend in my head for what she would look like. So you were trying to look someone
to like kind of encapsulate that picture.
Right, and I was like, you know, I mean, I have to, as we were auditioning, you know, I sort of had to let go of some of those things, and you know, I also couldn't expect these actors who didn't know these people to be able to emulate them, and I didn't want them to have to emulate them. I wanted them to be able to bring their own flavor to these characters that were based on real people. So I think that takes a bit of the pressure off when it comes to unleashing this on the world, because obviously the people who are being represented are watching the show.
Right.
My best friend watches the show,
so
she's watching this character based on herself. But since it's not, you know, like an outright imitation of her, it's a little bit easier for her to watch.
I really enjoy watching you. I mean, your facial expressions, your body language.
Thank you.
Like, I really feel like I know you through the story. So with the success of episode 1 and episode 2 that came out, what is the next step for No Method?
Oh, God. Well, one of the things that we're doing right now is NBC has this comedy playground contest sort of initiative to try to get exposure for more independent, you know, comedy teams and people who are making films and TV shows. So they're looking for people to pitch television shows, basically. So I'm going to go for that.
Go for it. No, give me a pound. Give me a pound.
Yes!
No, go for it, please.
We will. And, you know, if that doesn't work out, we're applying for grants, and we're looking for more funding right now.
Thank you so much for coming down here, joining the Phil Taitt Show, letting us shed light on your greatness. And I mean, we wish you the best on everything that you do. Please let us know when episode 3 comes out so we can help promote it on our page through our social media avenues, and truly like give you great press as well. You know, we're a proud supporter of you. So thank you so much for joining us today. Well, that's all for us today, folks. I'd like to thank you all at home for joining us. I'd also like to thank Caitlin Graham for coming down to talk about her amazing web series. That's all for the Phil Taitt Show. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.